Alright, welcome to Building a SpaceX Clone, session 3. In this session we will be putting in the footer partial and style it with both Bootstrap and some custom CSS. We will put in the search bar and the newsletter forms, but we will do the actual Ruby and Rails coding in the next episode. Alright, so let's get started again.
Ground control to Major Tom.
7, 6,
Commencing countdown, engines on.
3, 2,
Check ignition and may God's love
Lift
be
off.
with you.
Okay, so let's take a look at what it is we are building and remind ourselves. Remember I showed you this in the first session. Okay, so today we will be doing this footer here. We will almost have the same. I will leave some styling out. Okay, so let's just get going. Okay, go and open up your terminal and then cd into your projects directory. So I cd into ROR projects / rockets corp. Okay, and then I type add-on space dot to open up my text editor, and then I open up another tab in my terminal, going back to the terminal here, and here I type Rails space S to start the server. Okay, I'm going to close some of these in my text editor that was open already. There we go, all while the server is starting. Okay, server is running. Let's go to the browser and type localhost :3000 to make sure our app is up and running. Alright, so we all good. So we want to put in the footer here then in our nice rockets company. Okay, so go back to the text editor, go to the app folder. Yes, the app folders, and then go to views and to shared. And in the shared folder, create a new file and name it _footer.html.erb. Okay, and here let's first give it a footer tag with the class of footer. Oopsie, needs a closing bracket afterwards, and then close the footer tag. And in here let's just say hello footer, and let's surround it with an h5 tag. Okay, save it and then go to layouts, go to the application.html.erb, copy the render for the navigation and change the navigation to footer. Save it and then go to the browser and refresh. If all goes well, we should see footer or hello footer in the bottom here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so the partial is working. Perfect. We first going to style it with CSS. Okay, so go to the style sheets, and here we would create a new file and name it footer.scss. So in here, let's first give it a class of footer, curly brackets, and in here, let's first do the background color, which will be a dark gray of 12, 12, 12. And then the next line, let's give it a padding top of 3 rem. And then give it a width of 100%. And we need a min height. Let's do the min height 150 pixels. And also let's do line height of 60 pixels. Not sure if I will use this or not, but let's just put it in. Okay, and this cannot be a capital F, needs to be a lowercase f. Okay, let's continue down here. So let's do dot footer a, color brackets, and we're going to do a border bottom, and this will be 1 pixel solid transparent. Okay, transparent. There we go. And the next one, we need to put in a dash WebKit dash transition dash border. So we will have a cool transition border going on for the hovering effect. And then here type border 0,2 s ease. So it eases in the time of 0.2 seconds. Copy this and paste it 3 times below. So here replace with MOZ for Mozilla. Then replace this with MS for Microsoft or Explorer. And replace this with O for Opera. Okay, and down here type transition colon border, and we can copy actually this border 0.2 s ease. There we go. All right, and then we're going to put in a color, which would be AA with the pound sign first. So this is the transition color. Okay, and underneath here we will do a dot footer space A colon hover, curly brackets. And here we will do text decoration. We don't have any of that, so text decoration is none. And here we will do a border border bottom. Select that, and this will be border bottom color actually. There. Okay, and this will be pound sign 00 EEFF. Okay, so it has a little ease in from gray to a sky blue. Right, I move it up for you so you can see better. Let's continue styling. Okay, and this would do a border bottom class. Actually, cannot have a dash there. Needs to be an underscore for my defined class of the border bottom. And this will naturally then be border bottom. And this will actually have a 0 pixels. This will be come into play when we have the @media. It would make sense. So first do 0 pixels dashed, and we would put in right now for there's the color 444444. We will not see it because it's 0 pixels. Okay, and let's put a margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, a few more things. So here, let's do the buttons for the forms for the search and newsletter. So we need to do btn-outline-info, curly brackets, and let's set border to 030303, and a background color of 050505. So that's done for now, and I can actually close the the application.html for now. Go to the application.scss style sheet and open it up. And here let's style our header. So first the H5, curly brackets, and we're going to do a font family of Helvetica. And if Helvetica is not available, it will display sans serif. Okay, and we will do a color of white. Okay, let's copy this and paste it below, and let's style it for the H6 header. Change the color to 999. Okay, otherwise everything is the same. But here let's have a text shadow of 1 pixel. So 1 pixel, 1 pixel, 1 pixel, which is black. Alright, we're almost not going to be able to see it because the background is pretty dark. let's go back to the footer.html.erb partial, and that plus has to be an equal sign. And underneath here, open up a div class and give it a class of container. I mean a div tag. And close the div tag. And let's put in an HTML comment that this is the container that is the closing div tag is for. Copy this and paste it within the container. And now I will hit my control button. I will highlight the container here, and I will replace it with row. Okay. And in here, paste it again. And this would actually be our columns. So we would have 4 columns. So we do col-lg-3. So this will be large columns for the computer screen, and then we will change it for the mobile screen. So let's copy this H5 header and paste it in, and then copy it again, and then change the H5 to H6. Alright, where did H6 go? I copied it twice. There we go. So let's change this to H6. And then copy both of these hello footer H6 headers. Okay. Now copy the whole LG-3 columns and paste it in 3 times below, because that will be our 4 columns. And in the last column, we will have the logo. So open up the Ruby syntax with an equal sign, type image_tag, and I hope you made a logo. So I type rockets.png within single quotation, and we need to do a style here. So type comma style width of 225 pixels, and let's do a margin. So I happen to know that this works for mine. Margin dash top needs to be -30 pixels, because I have a little space on top in my logo. Okay. Go to the browser and refresh. Refreshing. Alright, let's scroll down. Okay. We did not activate. Go to the application.scss. Here we need to activate our footer SCSS. So copy this import missions and replace the missions with footer. Save it. Go back to the browser and refresh. Okay. Little error there. Transition border 0 as. Okay. I need a semicolon after ease. Okay, so back to the text editor, to the footer style sheet, and here, right by transition, after the ease, it needs to be a semicolon. Okay, I remembered something from earlier. There we go. So this cannot have a space, just 1 pix. Alright, let's go back to the browser and refresh. Refreshing. Hopefully all goes well now. It should. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, let's scroll down. Alright, so that's the start for our footer. Okay, obviously some things to do, but that is a start. Go to the application.scss, and here for the H5 header, give it a padding bottom of 1 rem. Right? And this is, I forgot to change this to an H6. Maybe you already saw that. Okay. And in here, let's do a line height of, let's do 1.8 to begin with. Okay, it might be too high, but let's start with 1.8. Back to the browser and refresh. Refreshing again. There we go. All right. So the line height was a little too big. So let's go and change that. Let's change it to 1.5. Okay. All right. I don't think we need to check that, but let's put in a text transform of uppercase for both the H5 and the H6 headers. Alright, save it and go to the footer partial, and below the last container we need a section. This will actually be for the social media and the copyright. So we need a section. Let's give it a class of bg-dark and close the section right away. And within here we need both the div tag with the class of container and the div tag with the class of row, and we also need the call -lg, and this would be -6. Okay, because it needs to split up in two. So change this to 6. Alright. And this is actually needs to be a closing div tag. There we go. Change the comment to 6, and then we can copy this. So copy now the class of container and the class of row, and paste it in under the section with the class dark, and copy above here this closing row and closing container, and paste it underneath the call -lg-6. But copy the column here for 6 and paste it below. And here let's give it a span. This would be for the social media. So we want to do a span of color. Let's just do EE for now. Okay. And let's just say follow us. Let's do colon. There. And let's just say Twitter and then a pipe sign. Let's say Facebook and a pipe sign. And let's do YouTube. Right? I don't remember if that's what I had from the beginning. And then close the span tag. Right? We can copy this and we paste it in within the next call -lg-6, and instead of follow us we need to have ampersand copy and close it with a semicolon, and instead of this text replace it with Rocket Zenith Corp. That is actually a pretty good corporation name. If I start a rocket company I might name it that. And we need to put in the year, which is 2018. Back to the browser and refresh. Refreshing. Alright. Oopsie. Okay, so when this happens we clearly have a misfiring when it comes to the closing div tags. But first we don't need this hello footer. And now let's just go up from the top and let's just check each div tag. So this closes there, this closes there, closes there, and this one does not closes. Alright, so here we had, instead of closing this call -lg-3, I opened it again. So put in a closing div tag, save it, go back to the browser and refresh. Great. Alright, so now it looks good. Alright, we are ready to continue. Okay, so let's add in the newsletter and search form. So we can just copy these two LG-6 columns, including the div tags containing the class of the row, and then paste it in right here under this closing row tag and before the closing of the container. Alright, delete the span tags, and then go to your application.scss, and here we will put in a class for float right. So we will name it .floatr, curly brackets, type in float :right, and then semicolon. Go to the shared folder and to the navigation file, and then copy the form that we commented out last time, and go back to your footer and paste it into one of the LG columns, 6 columns here, and uncomment the form. Okay, change this success to info, so we have a blue color instead of a green. Copy the form and then paste it into your other LG-6 column. Right? And then here for the left column, replace the search in the placeholder with sign up for latest news. And change the area label to newsletter. And the submit button text to submit. And in your other form here on the right side, change this so this says search rockets. And in the form class here, put in that float R. Save it, go to the browser, refresh. There we go. So we need a margin on the top and margin on the bottom, and we need to change the background color of the search form to dark. So first go to the application.scss, and we will create two separate classes for the top and bottom margin. So first we name this class top margin, or TOP margin, curly brackets, and that would be of 1 rem. But first here we need to say margin dash top colon 1 rem. Copy this and paste it below and change top to bottom. So change this to BOTTOM. Alright, we can put in semicolon here. Save it and go back to your footer partial, and where we have the row class at the top for this two LG-6 columns for the form input, put in that top margin and the bottom margin. And for the input class, add BG-dark for both of these to change the background to dark. Oops. Now let's save it, back to the browser and refresh. Refreshing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have some space on top and the bottom, and background is dark. So I'm going to stop here, and as an exercise you will get rid of these borders surrounding the input form. Alright, I see you soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.
This is ground.